What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on Forever Flame Racing Reviews. Today is the Gateway Preview video. INDYCAR Gateway Preview video. I'm super excited. Thank you for clicking. Now let's talk about Gateway. Things you need to know about the race. It is a prime time event. Yes, that is huge for INDYCAR. Like, huge. Prime time on Fox. You can't miss it. I think 2 million viewers for a TV number would be great. I don't know if that that's like TV's on, so I don't know if that converts to people watching it, but 2 million TV number, I think that's what we could be looking for. So, of course, I'll break down every team and driver combination, and I'll say what they can be expecting, and at the end of the video, I'll give my pole position and podium, and I'll do how many cautions I think there's going to be. So let's start with the team that always seems to dominate this race, Team Penske. So, obviously, Joseph Newgarden is kind of their oval king. You know, he kind of is the dominant driver on the ovals, but he's had a terrible year. He's sitting 12th in the championship right now. Joseph needs a weekend. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Joseph Newgarden domination weekend, but Newgarden needs to be in the top 3, needs to be fighting for a win. Actually, that's all Team Penske. Scott McLaughlin needs to be in the mix, needs to be fighting for a win. Will Power, do you want to keep your seat at Penske? Be in the mix, be fighting for a win. I think you could see a Penske 1, 2, 3. Penske has not won a race this year. They've had really a terrible season. Penske needs to win. They need to be inside the top 6, all of them, and be fighting for the win. Honestly, Penske needs a win, and they need some dominant win. They need to show everyone that they're still the man in the IndyCar. Now let's go to the team that has been the guy in IndyCar, Chip Ganassi Racing, and specifically Alex Palou. You know, he won his first oval race this year at the Indianapolis 500. He's now 5 for 7 on the year. I don't think he'll win this one, but, just be consistent, just get a top 10, get a top 5, build points for your championship. Even though your championship lead's huge, just keep building points. Now, if you're Scott Dixon, I think it was 2 years ago in 2023 when he pulled off that amazing fuel strategy to win the race. So if you're Dixon, just get a good result, beat Alex Palou, show Chip that you still got it, show him you still got it. And then if you're Kevin Simpson, just keep building on your improvement. Kevin Simpson's been really impressive to watch this year. If you're Kevin Simpson, build. Team Andretti, obviously we know Marcus Ericsson got second this year at the Indianapolis 500 before his disqualification. If you're Marcus Ericsson, you're always good on the ovals. Get a good result. You're 19th or 20th in the championships, something crazy like that. So if you want to, this is crazy saying this about an Indy 500 champion, but if you want to stay at Andretti and possibly you want to stay in the sport, go out there and get yourself a result. If you're Colton Herta, last year you won your first overall in Nashville. You're aggressive. You raced a really good race here last year. I don't know if you guys remember that. I think you finished 3rd or 4th. Just go out there and qualify well and have a good race. And if you're Kyle Kirkwood, you're the only guy to beat Alex Palou this year. There's been 7 races, 2 winners. Alex Palou's won 5. Kyle Kirkwood's won 2. So if you're Kyle Kirkwood, go out there, beat Alex Palou, get closer to him in the championship. Just get that gap as low as you can, and try and get to Nashville with a shot. That's what you got to do if you're Kyle Kirkwood, in my opinion. McLaren, obviously Pato O'Ward is phenomenal on the ovals. He is kind of McLaren's golden boy. So if you're Pato, just try and get a win. Obviously, you won on a short oval last year at Milwaukee. This track's kind of similar to it. It's a lot faster, but kind of similar. Just go out there and get a result. If you're Christian Lundgaard, you're trying to become McLaren's golden boy. So beat Pato O'Ward. Show us you can do it on an oval. You were good at Indy, but you weren't great. Be great. Be great this weekend. And if you're Nolan Siegel, drive like your seat depends on it. Because I don't see a world where his seat isn't on the line. His seat has to be on the line. There's been no improvement from Nolan Siegel this year. I've been very disappointed with Nolan Siegel personally. So if you're Nolan Siegel, I think you got to pick it up. Let's go to Ray Hall, Letterman, Lanigan Racing. They need to show oval pace. This goes for Devlin, Graham, and Louie. Show oval pace. Your oval pace has sucked the past 4 years. Don't suck on the ovals. Show us you had oval pace. Probably they're not. They're probably going to all qualify 20th and below and be lapped by lap 50, all of them. That's just the reality of it. They're the worst team on the ovals. There's no doubt about it. But that's all you got to say. Don't show up and be the worst team on the oval, but you probably will be. Maybe it'll be better than Coin. They might be better than Coin. Let's go AJ Foyt Racing. This could be a very, very dangerous team this weekend because Santino Ferrucci is so good on the ovals, and David Malukas is so good at Gateway. In fact, if it wasn't for last year Will Power and him getting tangled up with like 15 laps to go, he's basically finished on the podium every time he's been at Gateway. So Santino Ferrucci, get a top 5. If you're David Malukas, get a top 5. Get a podium, get a win. If you're AJ Foyt, you want 2 cars in the top 5 this weekend. That is a realistic and reasonable expectation that probably needs to happen. 2 cars in the top 5 for AJ Foyt. I think that's what you should be aiming for. Meyer Shank Racing, their short oval pace wasn't great last year. Really looking back at the results, obviously they won the Indy 500 in 2021 with Elio Castroneves, and they have like a pole position last year at Long Beach. But other than that, they've never really won anything. But I don't think winning is a realistic expectation for Meyer Shank with Felix Rosenquist and Marcus Armstrong. Maybe just getting a good result. Their season started off pretty well, but it's actually kind of gone down in my opinion. So just get a good result and get your season rolling again. I think that's what they need to do. Maybe make some headlines, because they've been quietly kind of good, but they haven't been like headline good. So maybe get yourself in the headlines if you're Meyer Shank. Ed Carpenter Racing. If you're Alexander Rossi, keep doing what you're doing. You're killing it. You're doing a great job. Alexander Rossi, top 10 driver this season. If you're Christian Rasmussen, get as close as you can to Alexander Rossi, because he's another driver that you have to say, surely his seat's on the line. Dale Coyne, obviously we know they struggled at Indy, but this is a much shorter track than Indy. So if you're Dale Coyne, if you're Rinus VK, drive, keep doing what you're doing, drive the lights out, get a good result. If you're Jacob Abel, don't crash, get the experience, because I do think he's doing good enough. Even though he's 27th and last in the championship, I do think Jacob Abel will be in that 51 car next year. I think you just need to get experience if you're Jacob Abel. Humkos Hollander Racing. If you're Connor Daly, he said on Speed Street he's going to be on the podium. And he could be. He was on the podium last year at Milwaukee in race 1. He's really good on these short oval tracks. So if you're Connor Daly, maybe try and get a top 5, top 3 podium, Be there. Your pace was great at Indy. And if you're Stingray Rob, I think you try and get in the top 15, top 10. If you're Stingray, I think that's realistic for Stingray this weekend, in my personal opinion. And then the new team, Prema, Robert Schwartzman's on pole for the Indy 500. That's still crazy for me to believe. So maybe show that oval pace, although I don't know how much they'll have. If you're Kyle Milot, be ahead Robert Schwartzman, because I do worry that Kyle Milot could be out of a ride this year. So that's every team and driver combination competing this weekend and the realistic expectations. Now I'm going to hit you with a pole position winner. Are you ready? Drum roll. Drum roll with okay, that was cringe. Sorry. So who I think is going to get the pole position for the Indy 500? Not the Indy 500. Gateway. Gosh, why am I saying? I'm still in May. Gosh. Gateway. Pole position, David Malukas. Boom. You heard it here first. David Malukas is getting his first ever IndyCar pole. It's going to be David. I just feel it. He's good around this place and get the pole. The race win. Also David Malukas. It's a pole and win for David Malukas. I think David Malukas is going to show what he's made of. He's going to get that Penske seat after this weekend. P2. I'm going Joseph Newgarden. I think Chevy is going to get a 1-2. It's just what I'm thinking. And then you got to put a Honda on here. So do I go from the Ganassi or Andretti camp? And I'm going to go with Marcus Ericsson. For some reason, I'm thinking Ericsson has a good weekend. I don't know why. I'm just thinking Marcus Ericsson. So that's my podium, pole position, and driver and team combination. That was a Gateway preview. I'll see you either, depending on what, actually, I'll probably see you Monday for the Gateway review, because I probably won't film it after Sunday. So I'll see you Monday for the Gateway review. Until then, enjoy the racing.